Hello there, folks. I'm Dan Brown from a sort of interesting life.com, and you're joining me on board good old Narrowboat Tilly for an absolutely beautiful morning boat trip. As you can see, we're passing an awful lot of boats. This is Maestermyn Marina, so prepare to see a lot more boats as we go around these different bends and angle ourselves around, staying well away from the sides of the canal. But as we do go around these corners, the sun is going to come out behind us and light everything up in that good, perfect sunrise sunshine and give everything that really super yellowy hint. And again, these are the sorts of moments and the sorts of scenery that I can witter on and on and on about. I mean, just look at that blue sky reflected on an absolutely perfectly still canal. Unbelievable, fair play. Anyway, that was a pretty good way to start the day, it's got to be said. This video though, I really just wanted to have a general chat. It's been a while since I've done just a video of talking that isn't talking about something specific, so I thought I'll just say a couple of words. Now, recently, the canal has been going through a few difficulties. As you may have seen, that lift bridge was broken when I turned up there, and now the Montgomery is leaking and still in a state of being repaired, so goodness knows how long that's going to be closed for. Which is a real shame, because the Montgomery in the summer, as I've learnt last year in particular, but over the years just travelling there on foot and by bike, is just an amazing place because everything gets so overgrown, which ironically is what's led to these problems of it leaking probably, and something that last year when I was down there were a lot of people saying, well, it's been let to overgrow and it's going to start leaking again and they'll be back to square one, and there's an awful lot to be said on that. But actually travelling down there and just experiencing a super rural canal with hardly any traffic compared to up here on the Llangollen during the summer months, it's just incredible. And again, if you've got the good weather, so you can be travelling down the canal in these sort of conditions, but quite literally sometimes not see another boat for miles on end, whether that's moored up or travelling and so on, just fantastic. And that's something that, I don't know, it's skewed my plans of exactly where I want to be and what's happening, because I was intending to be there now basically and be recording this sort of video from actually down on the Montgomery Canal itself, but at this point I just passed the turning off to go down there, because you can only go a certain way and then turn back, and because of the lack of mooring spaces I thought, yeah, we'll give that a miss for now. So I'm hoping that it won't take too long for it to be repaired, because I would absolutely love to get down there sometime, even if it's at the start of the sort of autumn and winter months, just because it's such a beautiful place. And again, I could talk endlessly about that, just as I could with the scenes that you're seeing on the screen right now, but don't worry, I won't. Now, I'm not sure if there's a boat about to come past us. This is in real life, not in the video. But you may hear some off-putting creaking in a minute, and I promise you that's not my back or my knees or anything like that. It's definitely ropes and chains and boats in general. One of the things as well that I've really enjoyed recently has got to be just the unbelievable stretch of this good weather that we've had. Now, I say that recently, and I'd say probably out of the last 6 days, 5 of them have had a good deal of rain over this past week particularly. But to be honest, from April, sort of the mid to maybe the end of April through June and July, and May of course, I should really throw that in there has been some unbelievably great weather, and just this clip alone is a good example of how good the canal can be and how perfect it is to have these nice morning boat rides and that. I mean, this is only just after 8 o'clock in the morning, but like I say, it's impossible to resist sometimes, just these little trips, and particularly over the winter if you get a nice sunny morning where I'll have had friends on board, and so we'll just boat up and down a little bit and moor pretty much in the same place. Here's our boat passing us right now, and if they look in they're going to see me on my knees on a cushion speaking to the camera here, and yes, they did indeed see that. So yeah, as I say, these videos are not always recorded in the most glamorous of ways, as because the chair that I sit at on the boat is pretty creaky. I have to kneel down, put a cushion on the floor, and then just start talking. I've got my microphone and the laptop here that I'm recording and using to look at this. See the signwriter's boat just on the left-hand side here as we're passing. If you want to see some random writing on a boat, then they've got plenty of demonstrations of their work there. But yeah, I've completely lost my thread now. I hope this video is not too boring in terms of what I'm talking about, as, like I say, I just really wanted to have a chat. And I think one of the things that I've really enjoyed over the past couple of weeks is after getting Tilly out of the water and having her hull blacked and the cooling pipe patched up and now the engine's all fine and dandy and that, it's just been so nice to literally just be out on the canal, not be worrying, not be thinking, oh, I've got to make sure I get to Wixel Marina, and oh, I've got to make sure that I've got all these water bottles on the back, and oh, is it going to start raining, or is it going to be bad weather for me to go into work in the morning? It's just been so nice to be able to be out here, just milling around, doing my own stuff, trying to write the next book, which I did. Some of you may remember a while ago I said that I was almost finished on 2 separate books, and one of them I've released as 3 Years Afloat, and the other one, it was going to be a shorter book like that, but now I think it's probably going to be the longest book again that I have written on the subject of boaty bits. So I think that will probably be ready for a January release, as it's, I don't know, it was a poor idea because I was going to split it into 2 things, but without getting into that, because that's boring and I'm keeping my cards close to my chest for the time being on that topic. But yeah, it's just been great to be out in places like this, doing a lot of writing, doing a lot of tinkering with videos and things, and of course, being able to just get on my bike and go all over the place, because it has been just such great weather for it, and because of that you haven't had loads of general mud and things like that on the roads. So all these country lanes and towpaths that I go down, the towpath to our right is absolutely notorious for bicycle punches, to say the least, and I honestly cannot explain to you. I've probably had over 10 punches every time I've gone down it. Not every time, cumulatively over the time that I've gone down this towpath here. And I will now get off and push, or more likely just completely avoid this section with a bike whatsoever. And to put it in context, even going back years and years before I ever had a boat, and you're talking a long, long time ago now, me and my friend Helena, who you may know, who features heavily in the early videos and still is a huge part of my life. In fact, I've just come from her house earlier on today as I'm recording this, and it's one of those things that even going back years, we biked down the towpath to go to the Narrowboat Inn, which is just at the start, like just by where the start of this video was, at the top end of the marina here, and we literally ended up getting 3 punches out of our 4 tyres, and had to phone my granddad to come and rescue us, because it was obviously like, you can be prepared for maybe 1 or 2 punches between you, but when you literally have only got 1 actual inflated tyre between all of you, again you might be hearing random boat noises as the holiday boat's going past, and a little bit of creaking and bumping, rush of water there. I don't know if any of this is actually showing up on the audio, but who knows. Anyway, but yeah, it's again being able to actually get out and have these perfect country lanes underneath sun and scenery like this, and especially you can see here that it's so bright and sunny that the camera is literally struggling to adjust to the actual brightness of it all at this end part of the video. And I suppose as we reach this bridge to mark really the end of Maestermyn Marina, I will wrap things up and say thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the beautiful scenery and the nice calm travel on this. You really have joined me for an absolutely beautiful bit of boat life today on this trip, so hope you've enjoyed it, like I say. But if you want to support these videos and help me out, then please consider checking out my boat life books available for the Kindle. Search Amazon for The Narrowboat Lad, or find links to them all in the description below this video. And also you'll find many other links such as Facebook and Twitter and all that, so if you want to see see loads of boaty scenery like this in photos all over the place, and feel free to add or follow me there. But really, until the next time, have a fantastic day, keep it boat worthy, and of course, farewell.